let's move on to the very practical actions that we can take to minimize the effect of this in our lives. So, one of the things that we can do is we can leverage food. It's not necessarily about like eating healthier. Most of you are probably already trying to do that. It's about eating smarter. So, for example, if you're having a plate of food, we can look at its plate, at its composition. You're always going to want to include a fat or a protein or both, along with the carbohydrate. For example, if you're going to have a piece of toast, don't just put jam on it, because essentially, remember I taught you that toast is carbohydrate, which is pretty much sugar. And then if you add jam on top of it, you're eating sugar on top of sugar. So what you're going to want to do is add a fat or a protein. Like you're going to want to add hummus or avocado, or have it with an egg or some chia pudding on the side. Because the way that we digest food, the way that we digest carbohydrates is going to be a lot faster than the way that we digest protein and fat and fiber. And so by combining these together, our gut is going to slow the entire process down. And so in the end, we're not going to be spiking our blood sugar as much, because it's still taking the time to slowly digest the fats and the proteins, if that makes sense. The second thing that we can do is to eat our food in the right order. So what I mean by that is by considering eating our vegetables first, then eating our fats and our protein that's on our plate, and then finally finishing off with starches and fruit. Because like I mentioned, when we give the opportunity to our gut, our digestive system, to slow down the breakdown and the absorption of sugar because of the presence of fat and protein, we are less likely to spike our blood sugar. And when we eat food this way, it reduces the spike of blood sugar by up to 73%. This is a simple thing that you can do. Just eat your food in the right order. Here's some examples of that. So if you're meat eating and you have a plate of food like this, I want you guys to answer in the comments for me, but what would you eat first? Would you eat your meat or your potatoes first if you're looking to reduce your blood sugar spikes based on what I had just showed you or taught you? Amazing. Gosh, you guys are on it. You guys know. All right. So yes, we're going to want to eat our meat first, just because of that ordering rule, right? And then if we are vegetarian, for example, here's another plate. This looks delicious. Looks like something I ate the other day, actually. Would you eat your rice first, or would you eat your cauliflower first in this setting? Tell me in the comments. Look at you go. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I'm getting through. Y'all are just amazing. Aces. A+ students. Okay. So in this case, yes, you would be eating your cauliflower first to curb that glucose spike. The next thing that you'd want to consider, of course, is fiber, because fiber is so powerful at slowing down the processing of our digestive system and slowing down the blood sugar spike, reducing the blood sugar spike. So great forms of fiber include chia seeds, hemp seeds, and legumes are generally, so things like beans are generally great sources of fiber. Some of them can be higher in sugar or higher in carbohydrate. My favorite source is going to be lentils, because they are small, they digest well, they have a lot of fiber in them and a lot of protein. So that slows down the spike or reduces the spike substantially. And then the last thing that I'll mention, and I mentioned it in the emails as well, is that you're going to want to eat something savory for breakfast. So the first meal that you eat, let it set the tone for the rest of your day. By prioritizing a meal with a smaller glucose spike in the morning, like a savory breakfast versus a sweet one, we aren't triggering that cascade. You're not going to get stuck in that cycle that makes you crave all the things. Instead, you're going to be prioritizing steady glucose levels, satiety, and you won't have those cravings for things that will boost your blood sugar fast. So that's a really great way or place to start.